From the dawn of time, a darkness has moved in the hearts of men, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to strike. A darkness that whispers and tempts, that seeks to destroy and corrupt, feeding on the fears and weaknesses of humanity. This darkness is embodied in demons, malevolent entities who stand as eternal enemies of God and humanity, ever present and ever threatening. Their sole purpose is to oppose God's will and to lead souls astray from the path of righteousness, creating chaos and despair wherever they tread. These entities are not figments of imagination or ancient folklore, but rather they are deeply rooted in the spiritual battles that have raged for millennia. They are real, and their influence is felt in every corner of the world, from the bustling cities to the quiet, remote villages. While they are not to be feared excessively, they are to be recognized for the danger they represent, a danger that is both subtle and overt. Their power, though limited by God's authority, is significant enough to ensnare the unwary and drag them into darkness, away from the light of truth. To understand demons, we must first recognize their nature, their cunning, and their relentless pursuit of human souls. They are not simply mischievous imps or playful tricksters, but rather they are beings with a singular malevolent purpose. They are agents of chaos, beings of pure evil who delight in suffering and despair, thriving on the pain and confusion they sow. They are the embodiment of everything that God opposes: hatred, violence, deceit, and destruction, and their presence is a constant reminder of the spiritual warfare that surrounds us. The Bible speaks often of demons, referring to them by various names, such as unclean spirits, evil spirits, and angels of Satan. These references are scattered throughout both the Old and New Testaments, highlighting their significance in biblical teachings. These terms all point to the same fundamental truth. Demons are spiritual beings who have aligned themselves with Satan, the ultimate enemy of God. They are depicted as malevolent forces working tirelessly to undermine divine order. Their influence is subtle yet pervasive, manifesting in a myriad of ways. From the quiet whisper in the dark to the overwhelming sense of dread, their presence can be felt in various forms. They whisper lies and sow discord, tempting individuals to sin and rebellion. These whispers can lead to doubt, fear, and ultimately actions that go against one's moral compass. They exploit our weaknesses, preying on our fears and insecurities. By magnifying our doubts and anxieties, they can lead us down a path of despair and hopelessness. They can incite violence and hatred, turning neighbor against neighbor and nation against nation. Their influence can be seen in the chaos and conflict that plague our world. While their power is undeniable, it is important to remember that demons are not all-powerful. They operate within the limits set by divine authority and cannot overstep these boundaries. They are subservient to God, and their actions are ultimately limited by His divine authority. This means that their power is not absolute and can be countered by faith and divine intervention. They cannot force us to sin, they can only tempt and entice. It is up to us to recognize their influence and choose to resist. Our choices ultimately determine whether we succumb to their influence or resist their snares. By staying vigilant and grounded in our faith, we can overcome their temptations and lead a righteous life. To grasp the true nature of demons, we must turn to the Bible, the ultimate source of truth and divine wisdom. Here, they are consistently portrayed as malevolent entities, enemies of God and humanity, working tirelessly to thwart divine plans. They are described as unclean spirits, highlighting their inherent corruption and opposition to all that is holy and pure. The term unclean carries significant weight in the biblical context, denoting a profound spiritual impurity. It signifies a state of defilement, a separation from God's presence, and a barrier to divine communion. Just as certain practices or substances were considered ritually unclean in ancient Israel, so too are demons inherently unclean in their very essence, embodying spiritual filth. They embody the antithesis of God's holiness and purity, standing in stark contrast to his divine nature. Furthermore, demons are often referred to as evil spirits, emphasizing their malicious intent and propensity for wickedness and deceit. Their actions are consistently characterized by deceit, violence, and a desire to inflict suffering upon humanity, causing pain and turmoil. They revel in chaos and destruction, seeking to undermine God's plan for creation and to lead souls astray from his loving embrace, perpetuating a cycle of despair and hopelessness.